Welcome back, guys, to Pastor's Coffee. I'm Brooks. This is Stiff. This is episode 35 now. It's hard to even believe. Stiff, it's always good to see you, buddy. Look forward to this every week. How are we?
Yep. Doing better. Of course, now I got a cough.
It's a good topic.
I've been sick all week. I feel like, just mainly Tuesday and now yesterday. I was last night. And so, thanks to Steve, leading it up. And so, yeah, it's just some type of sinus head cold. I don't know what to call it, but I took some Benadryl last night and gone. I slept from I don't remember when, but I didn't wake up for a solid chunk of hours. So
Yeah.
I'm still feeling it a little bit, but nothing like yesterday. Finishing up some of the master stuff. Finished this week. Moving on to our fall semester.
That's 2 semesters down, right? 2 full semesters.
2 full
Is that right?
semesters down. So
4 more to go.
4 more to go. 4 more. 4 more.
That's brutal.
It's been. I've been liking it. I've also been hating it. I just don't like. I don't like papers, but I just
That's all
realize it's
this
part
is.
of it.
That's
But
all
I
this
just
is.
cannot do the discussions. They're. If you're a professor out there listening, I would really appreciate if you could not do this. I don't know if that's like a requirement now with
Not sure.
online classes,
Yeah,
but I would rather just write a 2 or 3 page paper than do
for
a
sure.
discussion.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
just a thought. Quizzes are great.
We love the quiz.
We love quizzes. Just for anybody listening out there who's a professor. But yeah, so it's been interesting this weekend. Pretty busy. We have 3 total youth, like not events, but youth things.
Get-togethers, yeah.
Cleaning out our youth basement. Hopefully getting that all
Cool.
cleaned out to get ready to renovate. And then we are going to the Altoona Curve for their faith night. And then we're packing backpacks for some back to school things that Monday.
We're doing that 2 weeks from now. That faith night, the Power here. Well, Dirty Birds, they have a
Okay.
faith and family night. We're doing. Does yours have a concert beforehand? Do
I
they
don't
bring
think so.
anybody in? Okay, yeah. We're this one is kind of cool. He's up and coming. He's not very big yet. I think he will be though. He's really talented. Joseph O'Brien. I'm
I've never
sure
heard
you've
of.
heard something of him.
Probably.
But he's
The name
yeah,
doesn't sound familiar.
he's not super well known yet, but I think he will be. It's pretty unique, his style.
Okay.
He's pretty talented. I think he was on America's Got Talent.
Oh, really?
But he yeah, so it'll be a pregame concert for that. So looking forward to that too. That'll be in a couple
That'd be cool.
weeks for us. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's always fun to go watch baseball, and I've not been to one of their faith nights, so I'm interested to see how that's going to be. But yeah, got pretty much almost 30 with youth and family tickets ready to go. So
that's great. Yeah,
I think we have two left or something like that. So we'll see how that goes. And so
be a great crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, but how about your week? How's it been going?
Yeah, it's been good. My little brother, he's moved into college. It is so weird
That's crazy.
to even
Where's he
think
going?
about that. He's at State, West Virginia State.
Okay.
But we live, well, I say my parents live so close there. I mean, 10 minutes. So he's got a dorm there, but probably half the time, I don't know if he'll ever stay in that or he'll just live at home still. But he got this scholarship to where he got a dorm with it. So it's pretty cool that he has a little space to stay there. But yeah, that was, man, it's that was pretty emotional yesterday just thinking of that. Just I mean he's grown now, man. It's different. And it's just cool to see how Lord's working in his life, and he's still goofy as I don't know what, but I'm proud of him and excited to see what all happens to him this year. But yeah, so that's happened, and obviously some stuff here at the church and getting the master stuff done.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I remember moving into college like it was yesterday. I didn't have a car, so my parents and me drove up and
that's true. Yeah.
met. Well, I didn't meet Evan, but saw Evan. We got our room set up and
Yeah.
cried a little bit
Yeah, me too.
after. Did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
me too. Yeah.
I'm not the only one. So
Oh man, like a
yeah,
baby. Yeah,
it really it's crazy. It's like a whole new chapter of life.
absolutely. Yeah,
And um I'm glad that we went there and got
me
to
too. Yeah, me too.
spend 4 years together, even though you were gone on the weekends. What it is.
I got better as years went on. Not that much better, but
Gee, I wonder why. Because of that RA position.
yeah, that was the only reason. Oh man.
No, you just wanted to stay back and hang out with me and not go see Mackenzie and your family. And I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
I get the sacrifices. When you went and saw them and didn't stay back with me, it was a good
Everybody knew
sacrifice.
where I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It was a good time
it was.
though.
It was. Yeah.
But yeah. So you have the topic for this week.
I do. Yeah. I just with I don't know, just kind of what I've been studying lately, and we got done with Second Peter in Sunday night group, and um, just thinking about the call. And I know we've talked about that in some of this, but our podcast is Pastors Coffee, so it's obviously given to everyone. We would love for anyone to watch, but obviously we're two pastors, and that's what we know because that's what we're doing. And we both felt a direct call, to do this. Um, but I was kind of thinking of illustrations, when giving my message and everything. And when you're called, when anytime someone calls you to ask you to do something, or gives you a task to do, you don't call them first and tell them to tell you to do that. So it's not
Yeah.
like I'm calling you first and saying, okay, tell me to do this, and then you hang up
Hmm.
the phone and receive that call. That's not how it
Yeah.
works. As much as I'd like to see that happen, a lot of times there's a lot
Yeah.
of things that I'd love to have happen in my life, and love to have happen, but it's not me telling God and then him re rehashing that out with me. It's him having a direct plan for my life,
Hmm.
and sharing that with me. So I guess for you to start, and then I just have some couple other things that have stuck out to me this week. I don't know if you've ever shared kind of your call on here. If you have, you can repeat. But as far as your call in general to the ministry, but then how you felt at peace about where you're at now, and
Hmm.
why you're there in general.
I don't think I have shared this. Um, so I didn't feel a call to ministry until around my senior year of high school.
Hmm.
Um, and my call then, even in senior year of high school, wasn't necessarily a pastor, um, which I thought that's what it would eventually look like. But I just wanted to be a leader in the church,
Hmm.
um, who would help people the way that the church helped me,
Yeah.
and being able to lead in a local church. And I think towards my sophomore year, and some of my freshman year, but freshman year was crazy with COVID and everything. Um, but just my sophomore year really solidified a pastoral role, and I think youth
Hmm.
was my focus with that, and that's
Yeah.
where the church really affected my life.
Sure.
Um, and I don't remember a specific like calling where I felt in the moment, oh, this is exactly what God wants me to do.
Yeah.
I think my attitude changed over the course of time. And I think God was implementing that into my life and how He would speak to me through the classes, through reading His Word, through even worship, or
Sure.
not through the songs and everything.
Hmm.
And I think my attitude for what I exactly wanted to do with my life would be a pastor of some sort.
Yeah.
Um, I some people think that youth pastor is their call for life, and I'm open to that. But I think just me being, I just want to be a pastor who is able to shepherd people of all ages.
Yeah.
Um, Even though my main focus is youth, I still try to focus on some of the older generation of the church.
Yeah.
Um, but I do remember back when he did change my focus, and that this was through studying his word and really asking him what he wanted in my life. Um, and he, I think, just called me. But before that, I just wanted to. I was looking at colleges for it was for a NASCAR to be in the pit crew and everything,
Yeah.
and do kind of stuff like that, work on the engines and stuff. Um, and I just remember, especially through my whole wrestling experience, and realizing that life, you know, these little things that we are looking for to be good at the sport, or to be, you know, be even in the pit crew at NASCAR, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Um, that doesn't amount to anything in life other than, Jesus. And not that I couldn't share Jesus in what I was going to do, but I think he wanted even more um, than I could do in a NASCAR setting. And I think that
Yeah.
pastoral was the way he would leading me. And with coming to ABC and previewing, I think that really solidified it, and talking to my youth pastor about it.
Sure.
Um, but again, I don't remember like there being a specific moment, and I've heard yours, and you can share it, where you kind of felt a at that moment, kind
Yeah.
of that was what you wanted. That's what you knew that God wanted you to do.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that specifically.
Right.
And
Right.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that God calls in different ways.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um, and I think that he changed my attitude through reading his word, and through prayer, and through hearing his word.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's how I would define my
It was
calling.
great,
And
man.
so,
Yeah, it was great. Um, yeah, I don't remember if I've shared it on here or not. But my original calling, to pastoral ministry was, I was 13, and it was after a Sunday service, and I remember being in the car with my grandfather, and just telling him, I can't remember what the pastor was preaching on, but I just remember telling him, I think I want to be a pastor, just out of the blue. I mean, I just had this feeling, and he told me, that's great, but that's not something you just wake up and decide to do. You have to be called to do it. And that whole year, I just didn't really understand what that meant, what the call was, and um, but I couldn't shake the thought. It was just always on my mind. And that summer, I got to a youth camp, and um, at the end of that camp, my entire prayer leading up to that was, Lord, call me, show me exactly what you want me to do with my life, and I'll do it. I mean, I'm surrendered. I mean, my life is yours. I laid it down, and um, I just really was on fire for the Lord at that time. And the last night of camp, um, the pastor was preaching on surrendering, and it was that moment for me where God laid it on my heart. This is what I want you to do. It was so clear to me. I've never heard God speak clearer in my life than then. And from then on, that's what I'm going to do. I don't know exactly what avenue, but I know I'm going into the ministry. I know I'm going to be a pastor of some sort. And I guess just over these years, coming here in this ministry, in this youth role, that's been um, I mean, I don't want to share too much of my church's business, on here, but a lot of people from the church, view the podcast, and they'll understand what I'm saying. That's I mean, there's been a lot that have gone on this year, with I mean, our senior pastor, our leader has had some health issues, and just seeing that, you realize how fast things can change,
mhm.
and being open and ready to move when the Lord calls, and to be ready to act. And it's kind of stretched my mind to thinking, I mean, Ephesians 4, he says he calls some to be evangelists, some to be apostles, some to be prophets, some to be preachers, teachers. Um, Everyone's called to something. Not everybody's called to the pastorate. I know I'm called to shepherd people, but I think it would be foolish for me to say, well, I'm only called to this group of people. You
Mhm.
know, I think I know I can say without a shadow of a doubt that God has called me to serve people, to minister to people, to pastor. But as far as, deciding, am I going to be in youth ministry the rest of my life? Am I going to be a lead pastor, at some point, and all these different things? I see that down the road, but I don't want to be so guarded to where I say I'm only going to be in this role at, for X amount of years. Because as soon as I start telling God what I'm going to do,
Yeah.
He'll shake things up. And I think it's scary, to get to that place, but it's also freeing as well because then it's not based on what I want because I'm not given the call. God gives the call.
Hmm.
It's not me saying what I want to Him and then Him rehashing that back to me.
Yeah.
It is me completely surrendered and saying, Lord, even if this isn't something that I necessarily feel like I should
Yeah.
be doing, if this is what you want, I'm here. And
Yeah.
I know you'll prepare me for the rest.
For sure.
And that's a scary place to be, but
Yeah.
it's also very freeing. So
Hmm.
again, obviously we both, who
Yeah.
knows what the future has for us. Maybe we're
Hmm.
we're exactly in the ministry that we're supposed to be for the rest of our life because the Lord opened the door for us to be here anyway. Maybe this is exactly where in the role that we're going to be forever. Who knows?
Hmm.
But I think it would be foolish to say that without surrendering ourselves. I try to say that I'm doing this until the Lord calls elsewhere.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe it's within this church, just in a different role, but I'm here. If He never calls me elsewhere, I'm exactly where I need to be.
Hmm.
But that's with everything. That's not just for pastors. That is for everyone doing everything. The second that you become too centered on what you're doing, you've got to examine your motives and think, well, is this me deciding that this is what I want to do because I'm comfortable or for a certain reason? It's not enough for us as believers and for, I mean, the Second Peter 2:9 says, and Coach Barton would always quote it, but is that I mean, it's First Peter 2:9. I'm sorry, that we are called according to His purpose, to share forth those praises. The second that we become too content in what we're doing is the same time that we're telling God, I'm no longer listening to what else you might have. And
Hmm.
that's, I don't know,
Okay.
something yeah, just because then you're uncomfortable. Then you're Peter outside the boat walking on the water,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
And the second that you get afraid of where He's taking you, that's when you sink. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I think God kind of did that with me. Not necessarily with the calling of my life, but I think if we are a Christian, God has called us to live our life for Him. And I
yeah,
think just to kind of apply this to everybody, not everybody's pastors, and I think um, to follow our calling, and that is to glorify God with everything that we do.
yeah,
Just looking back in my life with wrestling and how much time and effort I put into that,
hmm
and I fully believe that God purposely gave me the MRSA, the ringworm and stuff for me to lose in the
sure,
state.
yeah,
Um, and I think that it was His plan to really show me that He's worth more than anything that this world has to offer. And sports always gets this illustration, but I think anything in your life, yourself, is what you're most likely going to have to give up. Our daily life, if we are truly going to glorify God with everything that we do, we have to look
mm,
past ourselves.
yeah,
And we wake up in the morning and we do exactly what ourself likes to do.
yeah,
Whether that's get on your phone, whether that go and read your Bible, right? That's a choice that you as yourself have to make.
yeah,
Um, and you have to make the choice to glorify God in what you do. Um, and I think that's a call for all of us to look at and to say, I'm going to lay myself to the side. Yes, I would rather wake up, not look at my Bible, not look at a single thing that God has for me today. Maybe I'm just going to do absolutely nothing, just do everything I want to do.
yeah,
And we do that sometimes on a daily basis, whether we say that or not. I have my whatever you may have, the school event, and I'm going to miss church. Well, you're making that choice now to say that I don't really need God today, and
hmm
I'm going to choose what I would like to do rather than do what God has called me to do. And I think that just applies to a lot of people in a lot of areas, and to ourselves included. We just, our jobs are ministry, and so we should see God on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But it's easier for us to say, but you have to make a choice to glorify God in everything that you do
Hmm.
every single day. And I think that's our first and foremost calling.
Yeah.
And then we look at how God has ordained us now to glorify God, glorify Him on an everyday basis, whether that's in ministry, whether you are in NASCAR doing the pit crew. I could have glorified God in that way.
Sure.
Whether you're working the typical 9 to 5 job, wherever you are, glorifying God has to be your call
Yeah.
in every single day. Um, Anything else you wanted to say?
No, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a
So we
heavy
hope
one.
that,
Yeah, that was a heavy
yeah,
one.
we hope that's encouraging for you guys. And I think it's just something, especially in this world where we're just so focused on ourselves, and it truly is sad. And I look at it in the youth, and nobody in particular, but I think all of us struggle with it.
Oh, sure.
It Putting ourselves to the side is insanely hard to do.
Hmm.
But I think if you look at Christ and see how he put himself to the side,
Yeah.
he took on the punishment that we deserve, and he put himself to the side and carried the cross up to Calvary and died for us and then rose again 3 days later. I think that's worth putting ourselves to the side for. Because I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
what am I to think that I'm better than Jesus, who literally died for me?
Right.
Um,
Right.
so
Yep.
anyway, that's something I thought that kind of went along with that.
Oh, it did. No, it fit perfect.
So this week we going to continue with our top 5. Next week we will have some very special guests on here to us both, and so we're looking forward to that. Maybe the last episode. You never know.
It's a good bet.
Um,
It's a good bet, probably.
um, Now we'll try to go at one after if they don't destroy us too much. But give us some ideas next week that you'd like to hear from our wives. Some topics, even the fun topics at the end. Questions. It doesn't have to be exactly about ministry.
Yeah.
But give us what you would like to hear from Albina and Mackenzie. They'll tear us to shreds either way. So for this week, we're going back to the top 5 blind rankings, and I'm gonna let who went first. I think I guessed first last. I think I put the top 5 together
Okay.
last time.
Okay.
So I'll give you your top 5 first.
Okay. Okay.
This
I'm ready.
week's topic is video games. Okay.
Okay.
I really do enjoy doing this, and it's probably been one of my favorite segments. Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you putting? Wow, my voice cracked a little. Where are you putting? Oh gosh, dude, my voice is messed up. Top 5 video games. Okay.
Okay.
Number 1. I don't know the name of this series of video games.
Okay.
But if you remember going on to your computer, probably in elementary school, and
Hmm.
firing open cool math games or whatever they were called. I don't know if you ever did that as a kid.
All the time.
Um, all the time. Good. Any version of the Papa's whatever pizzeria,
Oh man.
cupcakeria,
Wow. We're going
cookie.
here.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. What is that series called? Do you know? Or is it just.
Thought it was Papa's Pizzeria. Well, that's just one of the franchise, I guess, but
I think it was just one of the franchises.
because there was I know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm going to call it Papa's Restaurant.
Okay. I have some cousins that are going to get really upset with me here because that was more their thing. To be honest, it really wasn't my favorite. Um.
Oh,
And you might have some really bad ones on here. I don't know, but I'm gonna put this at 5 because if I'm firing up Cool Math, If I'm firing up Cool Math, I'm going to run
Okay.
2, or Balloons
Yeah.
Tower Defense.
Okay. There
So
were better games. I really like this one though.
I'm
So
gonna I'm gonna have
I'm
to
a
put it
little
at 5. I'm so
offended.
sorry. I'm really sorry. I really am. But
It's
that's
okay.
what I'm gonna
It's
put.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
I agree that you're wrong. I agree that there were better. I agree that there were better games on Cool Math for sure,
Yeah. On this list,
and
I'm
those
probably
were
wrong
better.
though. I don't know. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
Where are you putting NBA 2K?
Okay. Let me be perfectly clear here. Okay.
This is all just the series again.
This is me. Okay. And games that have my favorite and have impacted me. Okay. The best game of all time is Fortnite. Okay. As far as cultural impact and everything. But for me, my favorite game of all time is NBA 2K because I've put too much hours on it. So it's got to be at number
Yeah.
1.
And
That's
money.
my game. Sadly, yes. I don't want to know how much has been into it, but yes, that's my number 1. That's my number 1.
Okay. Wow. So you have 2, 3, and 4 left.
I've won tournaments in this. I've won tournament. Yeah, that's my game. That's my game.
Well, I believe you. I believe you.
We played once or twice, I think, in college. Did we? We played once or
Yeah,
twice.
I got absolutely obliterated.
That was my game. You know, that's my game.
Yeah, I just can't comp. It's the Steiner, like Steiner. I can't beat him in Madden for some reason.
Well, you got him a couple times. You got him a couple
I
times.
did, but like out of
He's
100,
good.
I've
He's
won
good.
4.
He's good.
So
Yeah, he's good.
I just don't understand. He uses the
That
Browns.
series was, yeah, I know.
He was trying to call me during this podcast. Have to call him
We're not
back.
answering his call.
He can leave.
Speaking of call, we're declining that one.
Yeah, automatically. Not even letting it get to 2 rings. Where are you putting? Where are you putting? And again, I need to know names. I don't know the name of this. It was on the Wii. Okay.
Oh man.
On the Wii.
Okay.
And I don't know if you had it or even played it, but the Mario baseball game.
Oh. Okay.
Do you remember that?
I do.
Where you would hit, Donkey Kong would have his fist and he would hit the baseball like that.
Fire. Yeah.
It's a great game. Where are you putting that? 2, 3, or 4?
Just because I'm holding out hope for a couple of other ones that I don't know if you're going to put on here or not. I'm gonna put it at 4 just because I really didn't play it that much. On the Wii, it was Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. And it was a 3-point contest every time.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I was really good at the tennis. I was really good at Wii Sports tennis there for a while. Mario Kart. Those are kind of. So I'm putting it at 4 just because I didn't play that one as much, but it was really fun. Mm-hmm. It was a great game.
It was.
A great game.
It was.
I'm putting it at 4.
Okay. So at number 1, you have NBA 2K. 2 and 3 are left open.
Yep.
Number 4 is Mario Baseball, and number 5, Papa's Restaurant.
Yes.
Which I'm sad to see that at number 5, just so you know. But where are you gonna put Madden?
Ooh. I don't know what you're gonna have next. I love Madden. I do. Is this separate from college football?
Yeah, I will consider it, yes.
It is separate?
It is separate, yeah.
If it was together, I'd put it at 2, but just because it's not, I'm going to put it at 3, holding out hope that there's something else at 2. But I love Madden.
Okay.
Being strategic here.
Okay. And at number 2, this is a game holds a special place in our hearts, both of us, because it's probably the game that we spent the most time on. And that would be, what do you think of this?
I'm thinking you're doing Star Wars Legos.
Lego Star Wars, the complete saga. Yes.
I knew it. That's what I was holding out hope for, and I love my list.
I think it's I think it is a good list. Papa's Restaurant does deserve 5 on this list.
I was gonna say, where would you put it? Where would you put it other than that though? With these are great. You gave me some good ones.
I think that's a great list, man. Yeah, I agree.
I like that one. Yeah.
Okay.
2 and 3 maybe could flip, but just because of the memories
Just
alone,
because, yeah,
it
yeah,
deserves it.
we
Like
I
playing it
don't
by
know what.
myself, I wouldn't put it up there, but playing
Oh,
it
for
together,
sure,
it's up there. Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Fortnite. We also spent a lot of time on Fortnite.
we did, we did. Yeah, we did.
Probably more than we should have,
Yeah.
but we did.
VR games, if we put that on there, that was hilarious.
Oh,
I would love to
I
put a clip of
completely.
you up here. If we can find out how to do that, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to send it to you, and you're going to insert it because this is
Okay.
too perfect.
I think it might be in our Snapchat.
Oh, we'll find it. That is
Okay.
hilarious. Guys, I've probably told this story in here before, but speaking of me leaving on the weekends, I would come back from these weekend trips, come into my room, and Stiff is sweating more than I've ever seen him ever. I mean, his shirt is drenched, and he was swinging his arms, and he can't see me, so I'm opening up the door and being careful not to get hit. I mean, he was a NFL quarterback. He was Darth Vader's apprentice. He
Yeah, I
was
would.
he was a drummer. he was
Yeah,
he was he wore a lot of hats with the VR.
yeah, dude.
You just have to watch the video. We'll play it. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. So
Those were the days that me and Albino would just go back to our room, and I had nothing to do Sunday afternoons, and
yeah,
so I just hopped on the VR and hoped it was there and hoped it would charge up for me,
it was there.
and
It was there.
I gave it back very sweaty. I kind of
Yeah,
felt bad.
yeah. We had to let it sit for the night.
He's got a little crusty. Oh,
Oh man, it's too good.
oh, that's good stuff right there. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about the VR set.
Those were
So
so
we'll
much
show
fun.
that video at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
And wherever it's gonna be. So I forget what I'm ranking.
Okay, you've got sports moments.
That's right. Top
Okay,
5 sports moments.
okay. Sports moments. Number one. I don't really know where you're going with this. So number one, we're doing Tom Brady's Super Bowl comeback against the Falcons, 28-3, and he makes the comeback. Where are you putting that?
Wow. That's strong right out of the gate. Because I remember watching
Putting
that.
the pressure. Yeah, me too. Putting the pressure on you. I
Um,
remember what I was eating.
do you?
Yes, I was eating wings from Cold Spot with some pepperoni rolls. It was a great day. Great day. Great day. I will never forget that day. I'll never
Oh,
forget it.
I remember rooting for the Falcons. And at halftime,
I was a Brady fan. I was rooting for Brady. I thought it was done
I
though. I did not think he was going to come back. But
I went into halftime thinking, great. I
oh, it's
mean, it
over.
was.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna put it. I think since it's something that I know and I remember very vividly, I'm gonna have to put it at number 2.
I think that's a good rank. That's a good rank.
Brady, his Super Bowl comeback.
Yep.
I really could have just messed up this list with that though, but
I
we'll
don't
see.
think so. I think you're gonna be all right. Next, Michael Jordan flu game.
Obviously, we weren't alive for that, but I think since personally, I think it's more impressive. Um, I don't know if it's more impressive than that. I'm gonna put it at number 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it at number 3. I
Okay.
think, yeah, because
Number four.
anytime now they've been cold, like they're terrible, and then they have a cold, and then they go play an amazing game. We compare it to the flu game.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Just cultural impact alone. The shoes
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um.
if LeBron would have done it, it would be at number 1. But it is what it is.
For sure. For sure. Let's just be honest about it. Next, The helmet catch.
The what?
The helmet catch. Giants
Oh, yeah.
receiver.
Okay. I think
That changes history a lot. That changes history a lot.
it does. Brady would.
That was perfect. That was a perfect season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was Patriots' perfect season. Yeah, they didn't lose a game in the regular season.
Yeah.
because that was Moss.
Right.
Yeah, perfect season. Yeah, without that changes a lot.
I think. See, I'm holding out, and I think there might be something better. Luckily, the accolade isn't a sport, so. That's just one play, and there's some crazy one plays. I'm going to put it at number 5.
Okay. I'm not super mad at that. Okay, next. Giannis's 50-point game to close out the NBA Finals in 2021. 50 points in Game 6 to close them out. Where's that at? You only got 1 and 4.
It's got to go number 4, right? Funny story about that. He went to Chick-fil-A the next day. Ordered a 50-piece nugget, and that was at Albina's Chick-fil-A that she normally goes to.
No way.
And she wasn't there that day. Very sad about it. That would have been insane. Meeting Giannis in the checkout
after that game.
After that game.
That'd have been insane.
It is hilarious. Him telling jokes in his accent.
He should vlog.
He really should, dude.
Yeah. He'd be hilarious.
Okay. I'm putting it at 4.
Last
number
one,
1.
and I'm so glad you left the spot.
Okay.
I will say this in 2 different ways because this is the greatest moment in sports history. LeBron James Game 7 block. That is it. Down 3-1. There will never be a bigger moment than that.
Beautiful.
There was no way for him to get to that shot, and he tracks him down like a lion.
Dude,
pins it up against the glass, and history's made. That's it. That's the moment. That is
beautiful.
Sports. Right there.
Sports. Why number 1? That's solidified.
I thought you were leaving it out, so that was.
I did, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. Yeah. You know what's a better moment? Better than that?
Be careful here.
Your last point at ABC.
There it was.
Dude, okay, that was though insane.
That's pretty
like
cool.
I haven't been at a sporting event that was so riled up. In our capacity of 200 people, if that.
Yeah.
Louder than any other NFL stadium.
It was loud though.
It was loud.
For what we had, I mean, it was.
Front row seats is what I had.
I missed you. I didn't. I tried to dap you up.
Did you?
I didn't get your hand. On I think I got. Well, it was like. I don't think you really stuck your hand out, which I was kind of offended. Vic stuck his hand out, and then Coney stuck his hand out, and I caught kind of Vic's hand, and then I really got Coney. But yeah, you didn't high five me, so I was kind of offended by that.
I apologize.
Because you're front row, you were right there. But
gosh,
what
a time!
Cool.
Even number 2. Oh yeah, I guess it's what it is. Another moment is your first basketball game. After that absolutely amazing picture we had with you, me, and Evan at the end of it.
That was fire. Yeah.
Was that wasn't your first game? That was your first.
First home game. Yeah.
We went out and got shirts. I remember that.
I was so hyped. I got my first chair massage. Yep. It was perfect. Started the tradition. Yeah, it was good.
Had that first syrup bottle. Still was around for the last game.
It made it to the end.
It lost the syrup, but it was the bottle was there.
It was there. Oh man.
Oh, but anyway, guys, we appreciate you guys listening. And hope you guys enjoyed that. Next week it'll be quite a long one. You're gonna see a lot of sides that we probably don't want to tell you, but it's gonna be told.
It'll be
And
fun.
it should be great. So we're excited for next week, and it got here before I knew it. I kind of forgot it was next week, so
I
I'm
know.
glad
I
to.
know.
So we will see you guys next week, and hope you have a good week until then. So
See you
we'll
all.
see you.